Today we're gonna make these orange dream cookies. So what that is it's orange, it's white chocolate chip, and it's a traditional drop cookie. So in our mixer, we have our two types of sugar, which is our granulated sugar, our brown sugar, and then butter. What I'm gonna do with this is I'm gonna cream this with a paddle attachment. It's really important that you use a paddle attachment because that's gonna help to cream the sugar and the fat together. So if you use something like, say, a whip attachment, this is gonna create a lot of air into a product, and that's not what we're looking for with this. We want to incorporate the fat and the sugar together. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. We're going to start it off on a low speed just to kind of get it to incorporate. I'm then going to turn it up. So with these larger Hobart mixers, you need to start on a low speed and then continually increase the speed. But so this is what we're looking for. That butter was softened to room temperature just to make it easier to go ahead and cream the butter and sugar together. We are almost there. See how it's just starting to come together? We want it to fully incorporate. Perfect. Okay, so that's what we're looking for in terms of that. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in my eggs, as well as my vanilla extract and my orange juice. And we just want to mix this until it's incorporated. Okay, perfect. Okay, that looks good. You can see it looks almost like a little bit broken. That's okay. That's what we're looking for. Once we add our flour and our salt and our baking powder, baking soda, it's all going to come together. Okay. So you're just going to come through here and just, you want to make sure that you scrape down the sides of your bowl. We are making a really large batch of these cookies. For the recipe that was provided to you, you could do it in your standard 5-quart or 6-quart mixer. This is a 20-quart mixer, just because of the amount we had to do today. Okay, now I'm gonna just pull that out a bit. And now I'm gonna go through and add my flour, but I'm gonna run it through either, you can run it through a sifter, a strainer, just to make sure that I get out any of the lumps. Add my salt, baking powder, baking soda. And we're just gonna make sure okay, and if you have any lumps like that, you don't need to worry about adding it. We'll just take that away. So you can see how everything has been finely sifted, and that's going to incorporate really nicely now. Now, whenever you add flour, you want to make sure you start off again on a low speed because flour has a tendency to blow back on you. So you want to make sure you start off at a low speed After it starts to incorporate a little bit more and you can see that that butter is adhering to your flour, you can then go ahead and turn up that speed a bit. And now you can see that our cookie dough mixture has really come to a nice consistency. It's exactly how we want it to look. I'll stop again. So you can see that this is exactly what we're looking for in terms of the cookie dough. Okay. Now this one is going to be a little looser, and the reason being is because we added that orange juice. If we didn't add orange juice, it would be a little thicker. So this cookie, because it has more liquid, is going to spread a little bit more. So what that means is once it goes into the oven, it is going to spread out on your sheet pan more. So that's what we talk about when we talk about a spread of a cookie. Now, your traditional chocolate chip cookies aren't going to have as much of a spread, but this one does just because of that added moisture. And so this creates a thinner cookie that tends to be a little crunchier. It's not going to be a very chewy cookie. So now at this point, we're going to add our white chocolate chips as well as our orange zest. So this was some orange zest that I went ahead and I used a microplane to zest those oranges. This is really good to add here because orange zest has a lot of the essential oils that are in the actual fruit, so it's a really great complement. Just be careful when you're zesting to make sure that you don't get any of the pith, which is the white part of the citrus that tends to be very, very bitter. I know, I really wish you all could smell this because that citrus is really strong. It has a really nice aroma. You can tell this is going to be a really good cookie. And now you just want to make sure that everything is just evenly incorporated and mixed in. We don't want to get a bite that has no chocolate chips in it or no orange. So this is just to make sure that it is incorporated properly. And once you feel that it's been incorporated properly, you are then done. Okay, that looks good to me. So your next steps then for this would be is to scoop these. You're going to want to go ahead and chill the dough in your fridge for about 30 minutes to an hour. That's going to really help it so that way the cookie holds its shape. And then so that way when you put it into the oven, it's baking at 325. It'll take about 14 to 15 minutes for it to cook. Just keep an eye on it. Everyone's oven's different. So my oven, it might be 12 minutes. Yours, it might be 15. So just keep an eye on it. But definitely chilling the dough is an important step to make sure it does not spread too much. Otherwise, you're going to have one giant cookie because it all spread together. But this dough too, you can also go ahead and freeze it. If you want to do that, the best thing to do is to pre-scoop them, refrigerate them so they get a little harder, and then put them in Ziploc bags, and you can freeze them pre-scooped if you want to then save it for another time. And then what you do is you would just go ahead and pull that out of the freezer, put it back in your fridge for the day before, and then the next day you can go ahead and pop them in your oven, and you will have freshly baked white chocolate orange cookies. Okay, I hope you all enjoy the recipe. See you all in class.